Hi guys, I wanted to share my birth story with you, and sitting on the stairs seems as good a place as any. So my baby's 4 days old now. I can't actually believe he's here. I don't think there's much like bonding, huge connection happening yet, and I'm going to be honest about that because I think it takes a while. Same for the baby's dad. He's a bit like, am I supposed to feel more than this? And I'm just, look, we've been through a traumatic time, and it takes time, and it's okay for that to be the case. So there are 3 videos on here from the past few days that were happening as things were happening. Also, last time I was pregnant I had a C-section, which was quite a different experience, so I will try and link that if you want to see that, where I'm looking younger and less tired. But basically at about 5:30, 6 in the morning the other day, on Thursday, I started to have kind of trickling down my leg, and thought, that's weird. I actually woke up a bit damp and thought, that is not wee. I know it's not. So I sort of spent a couple of hours seeing what happened. It carried on. Phoned the hospital. They said, you know, give it a couple more hours, ring us back, and weren't convinced. So I did phone them back. They said to come in. So I dropped my daughter off I tried to drop her off at her dad's. He wasn't reading his messages, which is just typical, isn't it? That's how it goes. Dropped her off at her grandma's and made plans for her dad to pick her up. And went into hospital, and they were like, yeah, it's probably just urine at this gestation because it's quite big. Tested it and said, oh yeah, it is your water, so the baby needs to be born in the next 24 hours. I was like, oh my God, because he's actually due the 28th of August. He was born on the 7th, and I was booked in for a C-section on the 14th. Next week. So I was a bit like, what? So I'm having a section then in the next 24 hours, is that what you're saying? They were like, yes, because we think your placenta is in the way. So I sort of got put in the queue for a C-section that day. I was trying to get my head around it, wasn't allowed to eat or drink anything, and basically throughout that day of waiting for my section and other people pushing in, the labour ramped up, the contractions were kicking in. I was starting to think, this is getting painful now, I'm scared, and kept thinking it can't be much longer, and I needed to eat something. And late afternoon I said, can you just check me, see if I'm dilated at all, because I haven't been through this before. It was a C-section last time that was booked in, so can you just check what's going on? And they went, oh, you're 4 centimetres, which apparently is the start of active labour. So they said, do you want to keep going? It looks like your placenta's not in the way. And I was like, okay then. But about sort of 6:30ish, things really ramped up. The pushing part lasted about 2.5 hours. He was born 9:10, and honestly it was, I'd say I felt drained and powerful at the same time. It really hurts. It's so hard because the time between the contractions, you're just like, I almost like fell asleep between every contraction. I was so tired and drained. The actual contractions are so hard. They gave me an episiotomy and cut me, and they used the Kiwi vacuum thing to pull him out. But their pressure on me, they're like, right, you need to push. The head has to come out in the next push. I just wanted to be like, look, just off. And I did stick up for myself and be like, no, that contraction's finished. It's finished. I'm waiting for the next one. I'm not pushing when I'm not having a contraction because I know I'm not supposed to. And I think they respected that. When he was like getting the head out, was the ring of fire thing people talk about very true. I can hear him crying now, so I have to go in a minute. I'm coming. And then the rest of him just kind of flopped out like a sort of wet octopus. And he was here. And they spent a long time stitching me up. I was too late for an epidural. I had gas in it, it made me feel sick. It didn't really work, but I still used it because I had nothing else, mainly to bite down on. Yeah, so I experienced natural birth without any expectation to, because I thought it was a C-section. I would say, comparing the two, the natural birth is the harder delivery, but the recovery is much easier. So you win some, you lose some. So that's my story. If you want to share any of yours, I'd love to hear it. And thank you for sticking with me. I will be in touch. Bye.